Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be kind of like a makeover video. I'm going to be doing my eyebrows, dyeing my hair. Uh, the other day I did my nails. I put press-ons on, and in the first video I have on this YouTube channel, I'm actually trimming them already. So yeah, that's what we have in store for today's video. Alright, so this is the part where it's not a voiceover anymore. Hello, we're here now. Alright, so I know my eyebrows probably look really good from afar. Let me take you a little closer into the mess. It's actually not so bad, but I am going to be fixing them up a little bit. I might actually be able to fix them up on camera without needing a mirror. Let me cover my forehead. Today is a real makeover day. I did my nails yesterday. I'm going to be chopping these things off. These tips are a little too long. I didn't think they were going to be. I'm very new to nails. Thankfully, I am not very new to eyebrows. I will also be dyeing my hair because you can't really tell in the clip that I have on, but she's becoming a little orange, not very suited for me personally. So all right, so let's get on with the video. I have realized something really silly about myself. So in making this video, it actually was about an hour and 16 minutes originally. Right now, it's looking about 31 minutes, but I'm going to speed up some parts, especially when it's like kind of repetitive motion. So hopefully I can get it down to about 20. But the funny thing about starting this YouTube channel that I'm realizing right now is that I have like a lot to say because I've wanted to do this for a really long time, but I need to organize my thoughts better because I was talking a lot about like one of the things, like sort of like a subcategory of videos I want to make is kind of talking about being confident in yourself, in your style, in your like own authenticity, just being yourself and, being proud to be who you are, even if it doesn't look like everybody else, even if it doesn't follow like the trends, because I know that's like a big thing with people in my age group, like teenagers to young adults. I mean, anybody at any age could be feeling like that, but from what I see, that's usually what's happening. And so I was talking a lot about that in the video. Like, if you're actually watching the video, you can see there's a lot of like clip content, and that's literally me taking out like segments of minutes of me just yapping about like that kind of topic. And I realized when I was editing, I was like, well, maybe I should save that for another video. So it's like one clear structure, and I can like title specific things to specific videos, but it's a journey, it'll get better. So we hopefully you stay along for the journey. But yeah, so I usually keep my eyebrows in the shape that you saw in the beginning of the video. I find like my eyebrows are actually pretty thick and they're pretty long. Like, I have a pretty long tail on my eyebrows, but I prefer them kind of short, a little blunt. Um, I also the trend going around right now is like thin brows. Those are so beautiful, and I want to try them so badly, but I just don't think that they would suit my face so well. I would say that considering my normal brows are actually much thicker than they are right now in the video, I think I've thinned them down to the thinnest point where I think they suit my face pretty well now. But yeah, I've been doing my brows for years. Oh my god. I think the first time I did my brows, I was like 11 years old. I haven't gone to a salon to do them in a really long time. Set of tweezers. I've even tried to thread them before. Honestly, I think waxing is the worst. My skin just gets really irritated, but I think tweezing, it's pretty precise. Yeah, it kind of hurts a little bit, but you kind of, I don't know if anyone else goes through this, but you kind of just like get used to it in the middle. Like the first couple times you do it, it hurts, but then towards the end of the process, you're like, oh, like whatever. Like it doesn't hurt anymore. Threading is great and all unless you pinch your skin. But wax, I always somehow like something happens. I either like rip off my skin or like it's too hot or something like that. So I just stick to tweezing. And I didn't tweeze them for a long time, but then I realized I'm like, if I just do like maintenance every like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, Like, yeah, it requires me to pay a little more attention to them, but they stay, like, looking really clean for a lot longer, and that's just the way that I like doing them now. So if you like them, maybe take that as a piece of advice. I know some people just get them done every month, every 2 months or something, but if I see some things, like, going out of place, I just take a couple seconds and take care of it, and then I do it almost like you do makeup or skincare, like, just take care of it when it happens, and then you just get a cleaner look for longer. I also find that it's easier to do that than, like, a 30-minute session of just perfecting your eyebrows, because when I don't do mine for too long, that's what it takes. I gotta sit in front of the mirror, I put on one of my favorite shows, and I just I do my craft. I I think that this new way that I do it is a little bit better. I don't know if anybody else likes to use any other kinds of methods. The only methods that I've really heard about are threading, waxing, and plucking. But if anybody else knows any other way to do it, you should definitely comment. I'll either, do some research on it, or maybe I'll even give it a shot. But yeah, I think at this point of the video, I'm done doing my eyebrows. This is definitely, like, hands down my favorite shape, my favorite way of doing my eyebrows. I think that they suit me really well. So yeah. Oh, well, now we're dyeing my hair. Okay, so I yapped so much during this part of the video. Then I decided, I was like, I'll just do a voiceover, and I ended up cutting out the color that I'm gonna do. I think I might have said it earlier. The color is going to be dark intense burgundy. So I had my hair pretty much the same length, slightly longer than this. It was medium to light brown with blonde highlights and blonde tips. I decided to perm my hair, and then only the blonde tips got damaged. Even the blonde highlights were fine, but I was like, I wanted to go a bit shorter anyways, so I cut off maybe like an inch of my hair. That was it. Then after that, I dyed it dark red, and then it faded, so we're going back to dark red. Um, when I dye my hair dark red, I know that it's not gonna really show up red. It's just gonna be like really, really, really dark brown, tinted red. It almost looks black at times. You'll see at the end of the video. But yeah, that's usually how I like to keep my hair. I mean, I love like really dark burgundy hair that like shows up that kind of color, but I did it before. It's kind of a process to get there for me. I don't really like going to salons. I do my hair by myself. So, I think it's beautiful, but I also just don't think it suits me really well. So yeah, I one of the like I was talking in the other clips about having eyebrows that I think really suit my face. I think that I don't really have a hair color that suits me really, really well. Like, I really watch a lot of videos on Instagram, like Instagram Reels and stuff, of girls getting their hair dyed, and they'll come into the chair, and I'm thinking, "Oh, that color looks really good on her. Like, what is she gonna dye her hair to that's better than what she already has?" And then, let's say it's a girl with like dark brown hair, and then she's like, "Oh, I want like Daphne Blake from Scooby Doo orange," and I'm like, I've got hopes. I'm optimistic, but I'm like, her hair already looks pretty. But then you see the result, and you're like, "Oh my god, like that is such a beautiful color on her, and it's like it suits her so well." Or like some girls that are like they're brunette, or they have like really like brown hair, they go blonde, and it's like suddenly their features just look so pretty. So I don't know what colors really suit me in terms of my hair. I tend to find that people really like when I have darker hair better than when I have lighter hair. And generally speaking, I mean, dyeing your hair dark brown is better than bleaching your hair. So I think that for my hair's health, I might not want to go to blonde. But if anybody has any opinions on like colors they think that would suit my hair really, really well, even if you think blonde would, like I'm interested to hear your opinions. Maybe I'll give them a shot. But yeah. I try not to go to the salons because I feel like sometimes they don't really listen to what you're saying. I see a few really, really good hairstylists on Instagram, but sadly, when I search up where they live, they're like in Texas or California. Maybe one day I'll have the time and the money to make an appointment at one of those really cool hair salon places. But for now, I don't really know any good ones that are affordable in my area. I'm in New York. If anybody knows anybody, feel free to comment. Feel free to let me know. Feel free to let others know if anybody else is interested in that kind of stuff. I mean, you might just be if you're watching a hair dyeing video. So, yeah, I've done a lot of crazy things to my hair, though. I've done, my God, every color that you could possibly mention. I've done blue, green, yellow, orange, red, blonde, pink, purple, silver, I think, black. I've had short hair, long hair, shaved head, a perm, straight hair. I used to do braids if you want to count that as wavy hair. So, yeah, I honestly I really wanted to be a hairstylist for a really, really long portion of my life, but I got discouraged from it. People told me that that was not a stable way to make a living. Honestly, if all else in life fails, like I might just I might just it's so like I feel like hair, I don't know about anybody else. Some people shave their head and they're like, "Oh, it's just hair, it'll grow back." Like they shave their head to show themselves that they're more than just their hair, which is a really cool thing to do in my opinion, but I also agree that people put a lot of their identity in their hair, which I tend to do. So I I understand like the concept of somebody's confidence being around their hair. I mean, most women can understand if they're having a really good hair day, suddenly they're having an amazing day. So I always wanted to be able to make people feel more confident, and if I could do that, by helping them feel more confident with their appearance, then hey, it is what it is. So, but with that being said, I have not found a hairstyle, color, cut, whatever that makes me really feel confident. I've had a few, like I put extensions in my hair at some point when it was really, really short. They were not long at all. It was actually the extensions were about the length that I have on my hair right now, maybe 2 inches longer on the longest layer. But aside from that, it was medium brown hair with maybe 3 or 4 layers, and um, I think kind of like curtain bangs, and it was a pretty cute look. Honestly, it was great. I mean, obviously, my hair was a lot thicker because I had extensions, and it was really fun to do on myself. It was kind of complicated. Obviously, there were a lot of mirrors involved, and it took me about a day and a half to finish everything. That was partly because the process took a long time, but it was also partly because I did not order enough hair. It was my first time doing extensions, so I think I did pretty all right. I wish I would have recorded that process because I did it really well actually for someone that had never done that before. I just love doing things to hair. It's just so fun in my opinion. But yeah, I also liked it when I permed it. I really love when my hair is like wavy, kind of curly. I think that's pretty cute. My hair is pin straight naturally, so it is what it is. The perms are just kind of damaging, and as much as I like to do them, they're obviously not something that I can do for so many times. So if I'm saying that grammatically correct. Um, I've had two perms now, and my hair's holding on. She's all right. It's in my opinion it's pretty strong, but I think obviously if I do a perm every 6 months, like I waited about a year to do my second perm. If I do a perm every 6 months or like every 8 months, I feel like my hair is not going to grow enough, and at some point, like the ends of my hair, like the last inch, 2 inches, 3 inches of my hair is going to be really damaged after so many perms. And I don't really, I'm not one of those like hair care girlies that really takes care of my hair all the time. I oil it and all that stuff. That's not my life. But I also don't want to have, completely fried hair that obviously needs to be cut, and I'm just holding on for dear life for the inches. I think I'm like an in between of the two. Like I like healthy hair. If it's a little damaged, that's fine. But if it's too damaged, I'm cutting it off. Like at that point, it's not worth it for the appearance. So, yeah, I'm trying to let it grow out a little bit now. I did not like my hair when it was long. I don't think long hair suits me. I think short hair can look cute on me. Kind of depends on the color. If it's too light, I don't like it so much. But if anybody has any opinions, if anybody thinks any style or any haircut I should try, I'll look into it. Right now, I'm kind of looking into wolf cuts and sort of just like medium length layers because that's kind of what I know. That's kind of what I stick with. Hairstyles would also be really nice to hear. I'm trying clips right now. I haven't really experimented too much with hairstyles. I've always really, for the majority of my life, I've always put it in ponytails. But I think right now I'm in my master's program. In my bachelor's program, I always felt like I just kind of looked like not like a kid, but my hair's always been in ponytails and it's never been really styled. I don't know if anybody else understands what I mean, but like sometimes you feel like, I don't know, you look more grown, you look more like a woman. Like I feel like in the ponytail look, it's cute, but I feel like even a ponytail you can style it into a way where it doesn't look like usual. If you know what I mean. I've seen a couple of like inspo pics on Instagram that I might try when my hair gets a bit longer. But yeah, if anybody knows the name of anything that they think that would be cute that I should try, absolutely feel free to let me know. I am very much down to give it a shot. So yeah, that is what am I doing now? Now it looks like I'm more than halfway done with my hair. When it comes to dyeing my hair, I really don't get too fancy with it unless I'm doing something very, very particular. um, I do have like a bowl and the brush, and I think I even have developer and bleach powder, stuff like that, because I do like doing my hair. I like experimenting on my own hair. Sometimes I used to have actually a mannequin head, and I would do her hair. I It's I'm living out my little dreams in terms of hobbies. I used to do my friends' hair too. But when it comes to just dyeing my own hair, especially when I'm just going for like a tint, I really don't do anything specific. I know that generally speaking, the dye is going to reach the majority of my hair. There's no like random splotches that are like obviously not dyed. I'm pretty good at getting the back of my head also. And just a little trick that I've realized is if you're wearing your hair down, there's really only like three sections you need to get dyed so that no one will know that you box dyed your hair. Like, whatever part is the most outer part of hair that people will see is the part that you need to dye the most or like the best because then it just looks very evenly dyed from the outside. Like, no one's gonna pull your hair in half and start inspecting each individual strand. Because, girl, these days, getting your hair done at a salon is a little bit too much. I wanted to get a perm for my birthday. It was like $900. I was like, absolutely not, when I could just do it for like 60 to 90 bucks at home. And yeah, also, I see too many videos, and I've experienced too much myself of trying to get your hair done, and someone messes up your hair, and then suddenly you're down a lot of money, and you're not even happy with the result. And then you try to complain, and the people who you're working with are just not great, and it's not it's not the vibe. Because if I mess up my own hair, at least it was free. You know what I mean? So I'm all about trying to show people how I do things. Like maybe I'll make more videos about me doing my own hair. I cut my own bangs. I cut my own hair. A lot of my friends ask me to take care of their hair. I do my boyfriend's hair. So maybe I'll make more videos about that. Just like easy ways you can do your own hair or like maybe help a friend out that you'll get pretty good results. You know, maybe you'll feel more confident, maybe you'll feel more happy and you're not down 500 to 900 bucks trying to get your hair done from somebody else. Like I said, I did the extensions on my own hair. They were tape-ins. I wanted to get, I think they're called like K-tips or ice tip extensions. It's like the little beads that you have the little glue. They're really invisible. They're very impressive. Like the science behind them is really, really cool. But I found a woman who did them and they looked so beautiful. I search up and I'm like, hey, how much to get like this much hair done? This is the length. She said something like 600 bucks. I was like, "Girl, what are you on about? I am I am a 22-year-old. I have a minimum wage job. I do not have that kind of money to be dishing out on my hair when I could just do it myself and it'll look almost the same and much cheaper and I don't have to deal with anybody not listening to my complaints." So, should there be any, obviously. I don't want to be a problem if I'm ever sitting in someone else's chair, but you know, especially with extensions, sometimes they're too tight, sometimes they're a little too high, and you got to have them redone. And you know, I can take care of my own scalp. So yeah, looks like I'm about almost done. Typically, I dye my hair like once every 2 months or so. Sometimes, if the color fades a little bit too quickly, obviously I'll go like every month. I try not to do it more than once a month. Um, yeah, I feel like doing it every 2 weeks. I think that's what it says on the box that you can do it every 2 weeks, or like you should do your roots every 2 weeks if you really want to. But I, oh my, I look like I'm ranting about something. Oh, I know what I'm ranting about. I was talking about people in the gym. Honestly, I kind of wish that I wasn't doing a voiceover because I was going on an unhinged rant and it's actually pretty funny, but maybe that'll be for maybe that'll be for later videos. So yeah, as I was saying, I don't really like going more than like I like taking more than 2 weeks in between each dye. I really try to keep it to once a month. Especially since I'm not like doing anything in particular with my roots that would require me to get like a touch up or anything like that. So yeah, I hope that this makes you feel a little bit better if you're using box dye also, or if you didn't really like your technique, it's gonna be okay. I think that it only really matters if you're going from a really light to a really dark color because then you really don't want to have splotches in the middle of your hair. If you miss something, it will kind of be obvious. Or the same thing if you're going from really dark and you're using bleach. If you don't do it evenly, then you will have sort of if you don't separate the time between doing your ends and your roots, or if you miss a spot, you will have a very obvious like a blotch in your hair. So, but if you're just doing like a tint, or if you're going from like dark brown to black or something like that, or you're going from black to that like dark navy kind of black that they also sell in box dyes, then you're gonna be just fine. Or if you're doing like a touch up, like let's say you're waiting for going back to the salon and your hair's kind of faded a little bit, you could just get a color and put it on your hair. If it's around the same color, you're gonna be fine. Nobody's gonna notice that you have any kind of that you used any kind of box dye. Not that there's any kind of problem with using box dye at all. I am a very proud box dye user. I love it. But yeah, just in case you want to trick people, go ahead. You do you, Pookie. You'll be just fine. So yeah, I'm trying to think of like colors that I could try on my hair that I can like do easily at home without causing too much or any damage. I also really want to dye my eyebrows. If I do end up going like dark red where it's visibly red, not just tinted, I do really want to dye my eyebrows. I think that would kind of like seal in the look for me a little bit. I feel like when I have mismatched eyebrows, it's not she doesn't give as much as I think she should. So maybe I will do that. But yeah, I would love to know your guys' suggestions, comments, opinions. And I mean, if you really disagree with the way that I'm doing my hair here, feel free to let me know. We can have a conversation in the chat. That is absolutely fine with me. Just keep it nice, you know. But yeah, I think I'm gonna finish in a couple of minutes, maybe like a minute or two. I'm gonna wash it out, and then you guys will see what my hair comes out to in the end. Fair warning in advance, it is pretty dark. It looks almost black. I tried to get it into good lighting, but you couldn't really see the tint. But in the sun, it is definitely a pretty decent shade of red. It is tinted, obviously. But when it's just in a clip in a not well lit room, it looks almost black. And that was pretty much the goal for this hair dyeing session. I also don't use jelly or anything like petroleum jelly around my hairline or like my back or anything. My skin just doesn't really get dyed by the hair dye, so I've never really taken those kind of precautions, but I probably should. I usually just go and wipe it off after I'm done. I don't even if my skin gets a little bit dyed, it's okay. It's usually the dye's only on my skin for a couple of minutes before I wipe it off anyways, like in the time before I after I dye it before I jump into the shower and wash it off. So yeah, there is an outro obviously when I show you guys the hair. But thank you guys for watching. Oh, here's my undercut. I currently have one. I'm very happy with it. I also have my sideburns shaved. I don't know if I'm going to grow them out or not. I do kind of prefer when they're shaved. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that I will see you guys pretty soon. I think after this, I'm going to be posting a come clean with me sort of video or like a study with me kind of video. And, just trying to see what you guys are interested in. I'm posting content that I would love to see, so hopefully I can find people that like watching the stuff that I like to watch. But even if that's not your kind of content, you were just trying this out, then I'm really glad you stayed and watched this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, do whatever you feel is appropriate. And yeah, I thank you guys for all of your support, and I hope to see you guys in later videos. The one last thing I'll say before it rolls off to the ending clip where you see the results is that one bottle of boxed dye is kind of getting to be just enough for me. I usually like to have a little more to make sure that I can lather it everywhere, just to make sure everything is saturated, fully covered, and all that. So I might start having to actually buy 2 bottles pretty soon. I would say if I don't cut my hair in the next like 3 months, that will be a 2 bottle situation, which I've never had before because I really like to keep my hair short. When my hair was long, I was a kid, so obviously I wasn't really dyeing it. So yeah, if you have hair longer than mine and you're trying to like kind of follow along or you like this kind of video, you might want to use 2 bottles at this point. Yeah, but with my hair being this short and with me having an undercut and with me having a lot of bangs, like shorter layers and stuff, 1 bottle was fine. This time, maybe next time we'll be seeing 2 bottles. Not entirely sure yet. But yeah. So now I'm gonna let it go to the clip of the results. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you soon. Okay, so this is the result. Hopefully it's easy to see in the camera. It came out really, really dark, which is good. That is pretty much what I wanted. A little bit, it's more visible with like better lighting. I have to fix my bangs. This is the worst I've ever cut my bangs. I think I like followed a YouTube video, which I never do, and I probably followed it incorrectly. So, I have to fix them. But this is the color. I'm very happy with it. I managed to get it very sloppily in this clip, and I do not intend on taking it down. But thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever you feel is appropriate. Thank you for staying this long if you have. All I'm basically saying now is that I'm doing my nails in another clip. That ended up being the first video. This one that I'm posting now is the second one. So please go check that out if you haven't already. My next video will be clean my room with me, and I hope to see you guys then. Thank you for watching. Bye!